happy you are here. I'm happy I feel like I can do these videos more often. Since it is summertime, I figured, you know what, I have it done and I feel like this has been forever. A read-in vlog video. So let's do this, kind of what I can read in a week on my summer break. And let's kind of talk about what I plan to read. We'll see what goes on from there. I started this book when I got it. I want to say back in... I don't even remember when I got this. Last year sometime, I think. The God of the Woods by Liz Moore. This was when... I want to say back in like November of last year. Taylor Swift posted she was listening to the audiobook of this. And I'm like, oh, it sounds like a really good thriller. I've never read any of her books before. And so far, so this is about a girl that vanishes when she's at camp. And it kind of gives me, it's really good. Like, I think I should have waited till summer to actually start this. I can't remember how far I was. I want to say almost halfway when I started, but then because I stopped and I didn't really remember what was going on, I restarted this, and in 2 days I got to page 68, which is pretty good. This is unlike, this intimidates me. This intimidates certain kinds of readers. I love to read books. When I see books like this really intimidates me. But it shouldn't, because this is a really fast-paced thriller that you can read pretty fast. The first time I read it, it's a lot of back and forth, so like the past and the present, and you have to really keep in mind what you're reading, if that makes sense. I think the first time I started to read too, I was kind of like all over the place, or my mind was all over the place, or I don't even know what's going on. But I'm grasping more of what's going on in this book the second time around, which is good. So this one, and then because it's summertime, we need some Abby Jimenez books just for the summer. So if I can get these 2 books read by Friday, that would be great. Today is Monday, so I will go sit outside this morning because it is decent out for now until it gets hotter, and see how much of this I can read, and I will give you guys a little update. So the update right now that I have for 68 pages is basically, so the camper's already gone missing, and the camper is a daughter of the people that own the camp, and you don't really have much information on her. It kind of goes back and forth between her life and the camp counselor, Louise, which I think is kind of like really neat too. Also, they point out that this is not the first time a child of the family has gone missing. So her older brother vanished 14 years ago and he was never found. So I thought that it's just a perfect summer thriller, and so far so good. Like I said, I hope to keep this on, reading at a good pace just for this summer. Obviously a romance book, very summer vibes, so I'm super looking forward to this also. So let's go outside and read. However, I did get to page 88, and on part 2 of this book, I definitely, like I said before, I'm a lot more in the mind space for this book. I'm paying more attention to the characters and what's going on. I don't really know maybe I just wasn't in the mood for the book when I got it. Like, I hope to, if the way I'm reading this book goes good, I hope to finish it. Now I'm really questioning how far I got in this book, because I don't remember a lot of part 2. So I probably didn't get that far, but this book is, I said before, very bingeable. So in this one, you meet how Alice met her husband Peter, and they're the ones. So she got married when she was 18. It was kind of like one of those marriage setup things, and their camp is for the well-to-do families. So like where their camp is, New Yorkers can come to their camp, well-to-do, and then Manhattan is usually the ones that come to their summer camp, well-to-do, well-off camp. And it goes back to when Alice had her son, and they were not supposed to have another kid. Okay, so that's kind of like from this, and it just feels like I don't want to, I'm thinking more like Gossip Girls in the Woods kind of theme. And I'm on page 110, and like I said, this is an easy flip read through, as long as you pay attention to each chapter, because they're not in chapters, they're with character. So like Alice, and then they had the character of the camper that went missing, which was Barbara, Alice's daughter. And then they had Jacob, and then they had Alice again, and then Louise, which was a camp counselor. It does a lot of back and forth between Louise and Alice at first, and I don't think, okay, so we do have a few new people later on in the book, but it's one of those things that's like easy to keep track of, I think, if that makes sense. I probably would have never picked this book up, honestly, but this was all the rave when people were said that Taylor Swift listened to the audiobook of this book, and then that's when I decided to pick it up, and I realized it was the thriller, camp thriller, all that stuff. And like I said before, yeah, we'll see how far I can get in this book. I'm not bored of this book, but I really want to start another book also. But I also feel like if I start another book, I'll get too confused in this book, because there's a lot of POVs in this book. So I feel like I should stick with this book before I start my other summer reads that I wanted to read. So we're just gonna stick with this. And if this book is as good as everyone says it is, I might have to grab some other of Liz Moore books to read in the future. I have now basically finished a little bit halfway through, and I honestly love this book. It's one of those books that I feel like if I had the patience and the time to just sit and binge read this, I could sit and binge read this book. No problem. It's easier flow than I would have thought if I would have picked it up and looked between the characters' points of view, because it's not only the different characters' points of view, it's also past, present, and it skips back a lot. So if you're not following what character is talking about their experience, or whether it's past or present, I feel like you could get confused in this book. Because at the moment in the middle of the book, they go between Barbara's disappearance and her brother's disappearance, which was like years ago. So you have to kind of watch for that. But other than that, I just feel like I'm flying through this book, like a lot quicker than I thought I would have, if that makes sense. Like, this book has only taken me, with the time that I've had being on break, this book has taken me like 1 week to complete. Between all my like random things and just doing random stuff, 1 week to complete. And I'm actually pretty impressed with myself. So I think this book will easily be done by tomorrow. And I want to start a Summerween read-in vlog. I think I did that last year, but I can't remember. But I really want to start one because I have a bunch of Goosebumps books that I found from the thrift store, and I really want to read them. I never read them when I was a kid, so I really want to read them. I'm looking at one book right now that I really want to put on my Summerween TBR, as well as maybe some Goosebumps books, and then one other mystery book, maybe. There's a few books actually now that I'm looking at, some that could be really classified as Summerween, could be actually really good books. But anyways, that's pretty much only my update on this book, is the middle part with the back and forth of Barbara's disappearance and then her brother's disappearance. You just have to keep track of whose disappearance they're talking about, if they're talking about the past or the present. And yeah, this book is really good, and it really explains the character's perspective. And yeah, that's my only update for this for now, but we will see what happens. The middle part of the book, there's a lot of back and forth between past and present, and I feel like I've been having like a hard time keeping up with it or keeping in sync with it. I don't really know, but I'm almost done. I'm literally like almost done, maybe 300 or so pages left. I'm going to see how many pages I can read outside. I finished this book. I did it. Okay, I did finish this book within like a week and a few days. Definitely a good book. I feel like there was parts of the book that could have been shorter. You could have at least done away with at least 6 or 7 chapters in this book, just because it focused more on Barbara's brother when he disappeared, I think. And I think that could have been covered in like maybe 2 or 3 chapters, as opposed to like in the middle of the book when there was 6 chapters, 7 chapters I felt that were just like really about him. And I'm like, but I want to figure out about Barbara. I want to know about Barbara, because at the start of the book, it starts with Barbara's disappearance. So I want to know about Barbara, so why do I have to hear about her brother? It could have just been like, mention her brother disappeared 2 years ago, maybe. So I don't feel the 500 pages was necessary. But to understand how her brother disappeared maybe was necessary for this book. Like I said, for me, it took me a week. Personally, I could have done with a lot less chapters in this book. And I love it. I love the characters. I love that you got to explore each and every character's point of view in the book. I love that you got to explore what happened in the past, what happened in the present, what's happening now, in the future. And you had all those different viewpoints. Definitely read this book. Definitely pick it up. This book, so good. Summer camp vibe feelings. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next video.